Hello, welcome to my news pick a card. Today I am going to analyze your relationship with you and your divine counterpart, twin flame, soulmate, DMDF, whatever you want to call it. And I will be using oracle cards, and it is going to be the Whispers of Love. I will be using the German version of the Romance Angels cards and the Gateway Oracle cards. And for the main spread, I will be using Crowley Tarot, and I may, if I have to clarify anything, I may be using my other tarot deck. This one does contain nudity, so careful if you're scared of nudity, or I may be using the Psychic Tarot, whichever I feel drawn to. And of course, I do have my charms as well. I will be using those at the end of each reading, but right now we're going to start with those different piles. We have pile 1, 2, and number 3, and I will put those away for a second. And we are going to start with number 1. I need to be quiet now because I need to count my cards. Give me a second. Okay, so this is going to be the side of the divine feminine, and this is going to be the side of the divine masculine. It has nothing to do with genders, of course. Can be same-sex relationship, of course. You can also be a male person who is in the divine feminine energy, or vice versa. Take it as it resonates. Usually I talk to divine feminines. That is why I'm going to say you to this pile. But if you are a divine masculine, this side, just switch it around, okay? It would make it a little easier for me. So let me see what we have here. Not bad, actually. Okay, right in the middle, we have the Empress. I do like that energy. I always call it the pregnancy card, not literally all the time. But this card for me stands for expansion, and like a pregnancy, it does take a while. It's a card of growth, and it takes a while until a baby gets born, which means there is a new beginning in the making right now. It's just not ready to be born right yet. Divine feminine, I do like where you're at right now, actually. The only thing I see with you is maybe a little bit of overthinking right now. This card is called Science in this deck, and I always read it like you're trying to analyze a situation with your mind that cannot be analyzed with your mind. You know, it's a soulmate relationship, and it has to do with feelings and emotions and intuition, and we can always grasp what we can feel intuitively. So it is a card for me that is standing for overthinking right now. So I would say try to stimulate your right side of the brain a little more by doing anything that's creative. For example, meditating, of course, to get you a little out of that. Maybe it's not anxiety. That card is not anxiety for me, but it's overthinking. Just to get you out a little of that energy. Maybe you're thinking too much that he's not reachable right now, or you can't grasp him the way you want to. But it is growing. It just needs a little time right now. It is important for you to ground yourself. You are doing that pretty good. I see you in a phase. I'm sorry, that's my cat. He's a little crazy sometimes. He's barking like a dog sometimes too. We do have the Ace of Swords, and to me that's the card of epiphanies, making decisions. You could also say downloads, things that you're getting aware of. And then this card is the Bravery card. It means you do get downloads or ideas on what to do, not necessarily towards him, her, towards this other person. But what you can do for yourself in order to feel better, raise your frequency, because whatever you do to raise your frequency means that you will attract that person towards you. So this card to me is like, okay, I do get the ideas, and now I'm going into action. It's a very action-oriented card. And then you do have the Two of Swords. In this deck, it's called Peace. And to me, it stands for inner peace. I already said overthinking may be a little problem right here. And this card means that that inner peace inside of you, it can grow. And we do have this card on the weakest spot, which means it's good that it's there, but I would love to see it more like here in your heart space, you know. He does love you. He does love you. I love the Death card. It means that he is in a phase of transition, and we have 3 cards. Well, actually, we have 4 cards that talk about that. We have I always call it the pregnancy card. So there's growth, there's transition. We have death, and this card is also called rebirth in my other deck. And this card, I actually have it right here in my other deck. This means like passage, something like that. And we see her swimming across the ocean, sitting on Zeus as a Taurus. And this card for me means you leave something behind, but you have not reached the other side yet. So it's in the middle of that progress, and he does have very warm feelings for you. You have the sun in his heart towards you, which to me means, of course, everybody knows the sun is the happiest card in the deck, so it is true feelings. What I see though is that his mind is elsewhere right now as well, not with another person. If it's a person, it could be a person. It's not another woman he's interested in. That's not what it's about. It may be that he's still in a relationship. I actually see another hint for that in this spread. But that person, if he is with somebody or she, it's not another person he really loves. But this card just talks about an outside influence. So it can be a person. It can be long distance in a long distance relationship. There's something on the outside that is standing in between you, and he is worrying about that, and he's trying to make decisions. This card for me, it's you, Divine Feminine. He has you on his mind, and you are the woman he loves. I can see that. So there's definitely love right there. It just, he's not 100% ready to go there right now, but he's not far away, because all those cards are very beautiful in my opinion. And even you have mostly beautiful cards. It's just the overthinking, and those are not cards where I would say, okay, there's like big fears and there's a lot that has to be resolved. I think you're pretty far along in your progress actually. And the future cards talk about this as well. We have the Magician as the first card. This is the card of manifesting. Now, though, I already mentioned there might be another person. Again, I am an intuitive reader, so I gave my cards my own meaning. And if this card shows up, not on the side of this Divine Feminine, then it has a different meaning for me. But if it shows up on his side or in the future cards, it means that there may be another woman involved, but it's not a woman he loves. It may be a woman he has not separated from yet, or an ex, or sometimes even mother. Yeah, mother issues. Because this card for me means that the male person, divine masculine person, has had, usually it's a male person, because that person has had experiences with women that were oppressing him, maybe manipulating him, downplaying him, yeah, anything like that, you know. And if this card shows up, it means that he has he has not healed this issue yet, but he is, we have all that progress here, but very often it means that there is still a person that he needs to separate from. And to me, this card is the woman he needs to separate from. He's no longer happy there. And if he already is separated, then it may be that that person still has some kind of influence, manipulation, whatever, and that is his task to leave that behind. But we have the Star as the last card, and the Star is, the card that speaks of wish fulfillment. It is the happy outcome as well. it's the card of hope for me. So I most definitely see the good outcome for you, especially it's a major arcana card. But for you, it's just like you're overthinking. Give it more time, work on yourself. Baby's already growing. It is already growing. It just needs a little more time in order to be born. And he has something or someone to deal with before he can come to you, but he's on his way. Again, look at this card. He's on his way. He has left that behind. Maybe not by taking action yet, but mentally. And he is going to the other side. And we do have love here. Let's check out those cards. Oh, calling in your soulmate. Yeah, of course, it's a soulmate reading. It means your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help to get you together. And again, this is a card that means something is in the making right now. And we have that here right in between you. And even more cards right there. I like it. Oh, you may love without fear or something like that. Open your heart to receive the highest energy. Give and receive the highest of all energies. So I don't really have a lot of fears here. Maybe a little anxiety. But this means, again, it's like the star. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry because it is the happy ending card. Soaring into joy. Childlike wonder fills my life. Yeah, that is what I said earlier about getting more into a peaceful state. You are already on your way to do that. It's just not as set in stone as I would like to see it. You know, it's not in your heart space yet. But soaring into joy. Everything that raises your vibration, of course, draws your person in. So focus on that. Don't worry too much about what he is doing or she's doing. This person is doing their job. There is transformation. There is dealing with that situation. There is ending things that no longer serve them. You are on their mind. It's just about, making plans on how am I going to do this. And this is your part, soaring into joy. What is your frequency? You are limitless. Recognize the truth. You can do anything you choose to do. I love this card. Look at the swans. Swans often stand for soulmates because they mate for a lifetime. And yeah, you're in a very good way. I really think it's number 4, by the way, stability. I really think you don't have much more to go. You're pretty close. For you, it's just like raise your frequency, hold it, and he's going to follow. He's going to come towards you. And if he has to deal with another situation, maybe it is still there in the 3D. If not, it's just mental state, something he has to deal with. He will, because star, happy outcome is your last card. Now we'll check out your charms. Okay. Yeah, again, I do have the snake, which often indicates the other person, other woman. Again, maybe a mom, maybe a person he is still committed to, but he wants to get out. It is a bit painful maybe for him, because we have this black skull, I have a white skull here. These ones for me stand for endings. The white skull is the easy ending, and the black skull is something that is hard and painful to end. So yeah, he's a bit scared to do that. But we have this skull as well. This skull doesn't talk too much about endings for me. It's like the death card. It's transition, transformation. We do have a yes. Can you tell? Yes. We have a car, which stands for movement. If you haven't seen each other in a while, it's really maybe that one person is going to see the other, or also it could indicate a trip or something like that. The sewing machine for me means that there is something that needs to be worked on. Can be, again, your inner frequency. We do have, how's it called? Stroller? What's it called in English? Again, stands for new beginnings. Maybe there is a child involved, and that is what he's scared of, that painful ending. But nevertheless, I do see it. Oh, look at all those leaves. We have several leaves. Leaves for me stand, and even the same one. You see, doubling, mirroring. I always like when I get two of the same charm, because that tells me either that there is a connection and also both feel the same right now. But leaves for me mean don't overthink it. It's like let your mind wander, because it always reminds me of air, like thought, and I have the image of leaves dancing in the wind, and it's, to me, it means just like let your thoughts flow, don't overthink too much. We have another star, wish fulfillment. There it is. Pretty flower. It means nice surprises. We do have a letter L. Cherries for me stand for something sweet that is going to come, sweet times. Another mirroring, we do have the guitar, so music may be important for you. You may be artists, maybe your person is talking to you through music, listen to lyrics, but we do have music, guitar. We do have the unicorn, which means to me that something that may seem impossible at times will still come true. It's the wish fulfillment. We've got harvesting, fate. This indicates to me new beginnings, new connections. We do have a moon, trust your higher self, and I like this one, best for last. Yeah, you have a fan when it's getting hot, right? So this card, it's not a card, this charm to me stands for sexuality, for sexual desires your person has towards you, or you have towards each other. Okay, I had dropped this. So that was your pile number 1. Please help my channel by clicking the like button, subscribing. There will be more pick cards to come. You can tell I'm pretty new still. But yeah, I am available for personal readings as well. So if you want an in-depth reading like this, just contact me. And yeah, for now, we do have pile number 2. Pile number 2, you've got your oracle cards. I will put them aside. And now let's see what your message is. Look, the 10 of Pentacles already flew out. I like it. Let's see. Hermits. Okay. I need to be quiet for a second and concentrate on counting my cards. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. I like it. Okay. I may need to clarify something in the end. Because of this card. But look, all of your future cards are major arcana cards. Which to me indicates that there is a strong connection between you two. Soulmate, twin flame, call it whatever you want, but there is a strong connection. Okay, it's not a bad spread, to be honest. You do have the Ace of Pentacles in between you. Aces stand for new beginnings, and it's Earth. I love Earth because you can build your future on Earth. You can't build a house on water or fire or air. You build on Earth. And Earth also stands for the 3D, a new beginning in the 3D. Right now, though, I do have healing for you. Maybe I should clarify that. This side is the side of the Divine Feminine. This side is the side of the Divine Masculine. Usually people who talk to me or consult me, or watch these videos are Divine Feminine. So I will be saying you to this pile and them or he or yeah to that pile. Of course, you can be a male person and inhabit the Divine Feminine energy or vice versa. Doesn't matter. Could be same-sex couple. Again, take what resonates. And Usually people who do watch this kind of videos are divine feminine, but of course you may be that person and just switch the pronouns, okay? So, I do have the Four Swords. It's the card of feeling. And then this card means changes and epiphanies, basically, you know, getting aware of things. I don't have any bad cards on your side at all. These cards are some a bit more neutral, but I definitely do see progress on your side. And look, we got Queen of Pentacles, which means you know that your counterparts, you know, it's in your head and you've made your peace with it. There is growth. We have a 3 here and the 3 of Wands. I always have in my inner eye a little plant coming out of earth, and before you see that plant, underneath the soil, all the roots have developed. So it means before you see anything happening, there has been a lot happening underneath the surface. So right now for you, it's a card of resting. It's a phase of resting. Actually, it's a phase of finding inner peace and trusting. But I don't have any big issues on your part right now, like major fear of loss or anything like that. It's just there is something healing. Yeah, let me check with these cards. Maybe I can tell what. I wanted to clarify that card as well. Careful, this deck contains nudity. Okay. Still, look, we got 2 Ace of Swords. It's about getting to know stuff. The Emperor. It doesn't show me exactly what is going to be healed. It's a general reading. I assume that it is different for many of you. But I do see, though, it is something that has been oppressed. This card, this word, in German it means oppression. And the Hanged Man, it's about not getting forward. And also the Hanged Man for me is a symbol of not being grounded, of not being rooted. And if you're not really grounded, then you don't have good connection to your higher self as well. Like we have here, you know, can you tell? The star has this like a pipe going into space or heaven. So I guess what is just healing is maybe you ascending right now and you've been having ascension symptoms, and you should ground yourself a little more, because we've got the Ace of Swords twice, and that one stands for epiphanies and knowledge and downloads, you could also say. And those things cause you to change and to grow. The star is the happy outcome. And we do have the Emperor as well, and the Emperor is the card of stability. Of course, it's the card of the divine masculine as well, which may indicate that your inner masculine part is healing as well. But I would say, yeah, what is healing? Maybe really ascension symptoms or stuff underneath the surface. I don't see any real topics right now. It's just like a phase of resting. And anyway, I think you're pretty far along in your progress, which also causes him or that person to get into their progress right now. Those cards are a bit contradictory. This card is called, I don't know the English word. It's like being or feeling unable to do anything. I'm trying to describe the feeling. Imagine you've eaten way too much and then you're just sitting there and you feel like unable to move. You're just like, well, that is what that word basically means. Like you feel like you can't really do anything. It's like being lazy. This card, on the other hand, it's the card that is called bravery, and it indicates going into action. So it's quite the opposite of this one. And this is the Prince of Cups, meaning it's the love offer. I would think that that person is really considering offering you their love, but those cards mean like on one day they feel almost ready and then the next day they don't, but it's okay. And we have this as well, the Two of Wands in this deck reminds me a little bit of the Devil card. It's just not as strong, and it's 2 different sides fighting in one person. It's a conflict inside of one person, and we do have that here as well. But we do have 6 of Wands victory card, On top of that, as well as the Empress. And the Empress, I always call it the pregnancy card, because there's a new beginning growing. It takes its while to be done, to be able to be born, but it's growth. Three always mean growth, and especially this card means to me he's getting ready. What I do see right now is that he's feeling unable to act right now. This card means feeling not so much trapped. What's the word? It is, like being unconscious in German, but that word doesn't fit in English. It means you feel unable to act. You don't know how to act. It's a bit like feeling trapped. That is why that person is not has not really come towards you in the recent past, although that person is preparing. I mean, we have several cards that talk about preparation. This one, victory as well. I think that person is like this close to actually act, and we also see it in the future cards, because we do have the Chariot as the first future card. Then this card, and this card in my other deck is called Rebirth, which means a new beginning. This card, though, this is the one because that I wanted to clarify, because this card to me means something like resolving karma, about something that has been oppressed is coming up again. And you know, sometimes in soulmate relationships or twin flame relationships, there are different cycles. You need to heal stuff, you do, and then after a while something else that has been oppressed is coming up. And we've had the oppression card earlier, so this indicates that there is something else that needs to be looked at in the future. And let's see what it is. Okay, yeah. Look, again, we have the Son of Cups. This card to me indicates something like depression or addiction, or something that's pulling you down. It's, you know, it's the sirens, and the sirens, they pull sailors down on the water. But we do have the light at the end of the tunnel, which means there is some form of crisis coming back up. And Ace of Wands stands for new beginning. This card to me is a very sexual card. May indicate something like sexual trauma that doesn't resonate with anyone, but it may mean that something like this is coming up in order to be resolved, and it will be I was asking again for the outcome, and look, it's the Empress again. So you will get your happy ending with that person. But again, it's like it's a new beginning card, but it's also the card of growth, so there is something growing. But similar to pile 1, I don't think you're very far from getting into union. And if there's no contact right now, I think contact is going to come pretty soon. It's just not the right time quite yet, because there's still some healing going on at this moment right now. But there is a lot of growth. Let's check out these cards. Honeymoon. Forgiving and learning. Again, we have forgiving and learning and honeymoon, which is often associated with sex. So it may be some kind of sexual trauma that is being healed in one or both of you. You know, it doesn't have to be like really, really a thing like rape, you know. It can be for a guy, for example, like not being able to perform in the past, something like that. You know, it doesn't have to be like really traumatic. But this is the forgiving and learning card. And it says, while letting go of your past and healing it, you get more love in the here and now. And then we've got honeymoon as well. And again, honeymoon, it's about ecstasy. It's about having joy and fun. And of course, it's about being intimate again. Maybe not again, maybe for the first time, but it's really nice. So I do see a new beginning, definitely. And again, I just saw this, healing the past. I step into my future with strength and clarity. I haven't noticed before. We have 2 healing. This is forgiving. We have feeling. There is something that is healing. And love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as a truth. This card also stands for resting, healing. So there's some healing going on right now. But I think you're pretty good in your progress, to be honest. There is a little more to come. But again, we have 3 major arcana cards for you, which indicates it's a strong bond. And we had the Empress twice now. I really do think you do get into your union. Your counterparts, you know that already. That person wants to come forward. There's just something holding them back. Of course, when you have this card like resting, your soul tells that person, don't come right now because there's something going on. And then as soon as this is healed, your soul can tell a person, okay, I'm ready now. And then that person can come forward as well. Because again, we have victory, we have love. Let's check out your charms. Okay, those are the astrological dice. We do have number 10. 10 is Capricorn energy as well, and it's about public and career related as well. Or, I don't know, just take 10 if it resonates with you. Maybe that number means anything to you. Don't worry too much. We've got the worry doll. We do have fate again. We have 3 major arcana cards. We do have fates. And look at this big key. It's basically a done deal, the two of you. You're gonna make it. It's locked. It's just not there right yet in the 3D, but it is coming. We do have the globe. It may indicate long distance relationship, but it can also indicate traveling for some of you. A dice, that person wants their luck with you. This is like a wish fulfillment, you know, like Aladdin, I think you saw Aladdin in English. It's a wish fulfillment. You see each other as your wish fulfillment. There may be a tower moment coming up again, yes. That's similar to what I see here, but you know, it's time intervention, it is healing. We do have a letter R, if that resonates with you. We do have the stroller, which indicates new beginnings as well. Flowers always mean like, yeah, nice surprise. Look, we got another key, 2 keys. So it is a done deal. I think you're gonna make it. We've got the star, I like it. Dove, doves for me stand for inner peace. We already said that peace is a thing. It's protected. This sand kind of reminds me of also the Wheel of Fortune. You know, there is something that may come up, but it is divinely protected. Again, this reminds me of being, yeah, of, you know, angels, spirits. Again, we've got peace, so relax, it's important. Letter S. We've got 2 of the corn cups, which to me means harvest, which means work on your situation, work on yourself, make progress because you will harvest. And we've got 2. You both want this. We've got the teddy bear, maybe childhood issues or inner child stuff coming up that needs to be worked on. For me, this sewing machine means working on something. We've got a heart. I like it. We've got a Pegasus. You know, horses for me stand for being wild and free and being daring. And this one even has wings. So, yeah. This one for me stands for new beginnings. And then we have music on top. Maybe one of you is creative or both of you. Maybe you send each other music or you have music that reminds you of the other person. So that is what I have for you, pile number 2. And I dropped something again. Where is it? There. I dropped music. If you like this, I would appreciate if you would give my video a thumbs up. And there are more pick a cards to come. Of course, I'm available for private readings as well. Just contact me if you want to. Okay. We've got number 3 now. You also have your oracle cards. I will put them aside. And I will do the main reading with those cards, tarot cards. Just give me a second to concentrate. I need to count my cards. So, okay. So, okay. It's not as bad as I thought at the very first moment. This card you have in the middle of you for me stands for abandonment, fears, or fears of loss, or an old loss that is not worked through or healed yet. So both of you are scared of losing the other person or have abandonment issues. And very often women deal with it, or divine feminine deals with it different than divine masculine. Divine feminine is usually more like trying to hold on, whereas divine masculine is usually like, oh god, that person in the past hurt me, now I'm developing feelings for that person, I could get hurt again, I need to step back and try to get control over the situation. And that is why we usually have that runner chaser dynamic, because one person just tries to hold on and the other one's like overwhelmed and tries to flee. What I forgot to say, this side for me is the side of the divine feminine. This is the divine masculine. I will say you because most of my clients are divine feminines, and I will say him or them to this pile, to this side, I mean. But you can switch the pronouns around, of course. You may be a same-sex couple, or you may be divine masculine in a female body, or vice versa. Take whatever resonates, but this is the side of the divine feminine. So both of you have that fear of abandonment, or old abandonment issues. That is something I would advise you to work on. I always advise to meditate regularly. You will find many meditations on YouTube, for example. And maybe you will find something specifically on that topic, or in the childhood wounds or chakra meditations, because to me also this indicates that the root chakra is not as strong as it should be, because that is where our faith is, faith in the divine universe. Nevertheless, I see you both pretty strong. And again, we have 3 major arcana cards for the future cards. We had that in the previous pile as well. So it's a strong soul connection. Divine feminine has sun in her heart, which means success. And also the Ace of Pentacles. I like it a lot because this tells me that she's pretty grounded. There is some issues, fear issues, yes, but they're not too deep on her part. I would say she has worked through most of it, because we do have victory as well. We do have the sun in her heart. We have the Ace of Pentacles, so she is pretty stable. She may be a little exhausted right now. You know, it has been very exhausting time, lots of downloads and stuff. So it is important to take a time out if your body tells you to. And also this card to me indicates, do things that you like, whatever raises your frequency. Take care of yourself. If your body tells you to take a nap and you can't take a nap, do that. Do meditate, whatever you can, just to raise your frequency. But you are doing pretty well. And he's not doing bad either. We do have a little struggle inside of him. Yes, we've got the Two of Wands, and it's to me a card where there's 2 parts inside of him. One part is, yes, I love that feminine, and the other part is, but I could get hurt again. Nevertheless, we do have fast development. We do have the Empress. You had the Empress in all 3 piles. The Empress, to me, I always call it the pregnancy cards. There is a new beginning growing right now. It takes a while until it's ready to be born, but it is growing. He's very protected by the universe, very guided. He is stepping into his faith more and more and more. He may take a little more time, because we do have quick movement here. This card for me also stands for movement, but I always have a little plant in my head that comes out of the soil, and before you see the little plant, all those roots have been developing underneath the surface, which means, I'm sorry, I just kicked the camera. which means that divine feminine, you probably were wondering what is happening. He doesn't develop at all. There's nothing going on. Yes, but it was underneath the surface. You didn't see what was happening. And then all of a sudden you will see that little plant coming out, and he will come. But again, we do have the abandonment issue card right here, and I have 2 in my deck. And we also have the moon. This is the stronger abandonment issue card, which means this is what needs to be worked on for both. You know, when you're connected to divine feminine and you work on your root chakra, it kind of has influences him too, you know. So do what you can to raise your frequency and look at that, because this card, the second one, means rebirth. That tells me, well, rebirth often means that something has to die first, that fear can die, and then you can be reborn. And I like this deck, this card in this deck. I'm looking to find it. I want to show you, because this card, yeah, I just said it means new beginnings. It means new energy. It means if you are not in touch right now, it means getting in touch again. It means going on together. And the last card I do have for you is the star, and the star is the card of wish fulfillment. Here it is. You see, this king, he died. We have his spirit there, and he's running out of this cave as a newborn, and he's full of energy and vibrancy. So this card to me means, yeah, something dies, and then you can have your own new beginning. And we have the star. The star is the card of wish fulfillment. So I have to say, all 3 piles are actually not that far from union. I'm a bit amazed. I thought it would be different. I thought I would have to tell you, oh God, you've got to heal this, that, and that, and that, and that. We had no devils, no towers in none of the piles. Yeah, there's a little abandonment issue. So check that out, divine feminine or masculine, if you're watching. That is what's holding you apart right now. But I do see union. Oh, we got the soulmate card for you as well. Yes, that is your soulmate. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and they're worth of being explored more. Simplifying your life. I cherish the simple pleasure of life. Yeah, reminds me of this card. I already said right now it's time to have a little fun, time to take a rest if your body tells you to. Stuff like that, you know, just cherish the simple pleasures. And 35, speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change someone's life, including your own. I think there will be communication about love. You see, we have that little birdie here as well. Birds stand for communication. Little dragon, I love dragons. Those kind that look a little like twins. Maybe you are twin flames, I don't know. You are high-level soulmates, that is what I see. And I think you're going to get your union. There's just... your root chakra is not as strong as it should be or could be. You know, that is what I still see as a little tiny issue. He has some kind of struggles, but again, he's getting out of that. He is developing. And he wants this, or that person, he or she, divine masculine, wants this too. Yeah. What do we have here? Oh, I like it. Okay, there is some kind of ending. I see that. I do have different kind of skulls. I have a white one. A white one for me is some kind of ending, but it's not very painful. And this one is a bit more difficult. I don't have any other woman in here right now, but if there is a third-party situation, because we have the snake here, that is going to end. It will be a bit difficult though. It will be a bit painful because maybe that person has been with the other person for a while, or there is some kind of fight. And again, tower, the Eiffel Tower for me, it can be literally like something like Paris or France, but usually the Eiffel Tower for me is a tower moment. So there is something still going on. Maybe that is why that person is still struggling, but let's put them aside. We don't need them because there is communication coming. Those feathers remind me of, like writing letters in the past. It's the biggest one I have, and the bigger the feather is, the more somebody wants to talk to you, or the more you will talk. So there is communication coming. I see Divine Masculine making the first step, because I do have different cell phones. I do have a blue one, and I do have a pink one. And for me, the blue one is Divine Feminine, and the pink is Divine Masculine, because I rebel against the cliche that pink is only for girls. I like pink, as you can tell, but because until 100 years ago, actually pink or red colors were for Divine Masculine and blue were for women, because red is associated in negatively with aggression, but also with action, actually like what man stands for: fighting, taking action. And blue is more relaxing, communication, more associated with female qualities. And like 100 years ago, they changed it up. I don't know why, but I just know that now we live in a society where many men think that women get more and more aggressive, and many women think men get too soft. I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but yeah, each color has their own vibration. And for me, I don't know, I'm a rebel, so for me, pink is Divine Masculine, so there will be contact most likely from the side of the Divine Masculine. We do have the car, which can stand for driving to the other person as well, but also it can indicate like going on a trip together, or just developing. Then we have a little birdie, more communication. And I don't have any Twitter or anything like that, but it does remind me of Twitter, so maybe there may be some twittering going on. I don't know. Is that a thing? I don't know. Okay. For those of you where there is a third party situation, you see there are two birdies and another one is flying away. So that situation will resolve. You are locked. You do belong together. We have that lock right here. Look at that. There is going to be commitment. My fingers seem to be swollen. Usually I can wear it. It's a ring, so there is some kind of commitment going on. Doesn't have to be as serious as an engagement, but it's commitment. I do have deep feelings, because we have the fish, and water stands for emotion, and fish can go deep. We have another lock. Look, you don't need to worry. This for me indicates new beginnings. And we got another feathered, so there is definitely communication coming for you too. Sweet communication even, or sweet times. And we have the fan as well. And for me, the fan stands for getting hot. Sweet. So this indicates sexuality for me. This may indicate, like a computer, for example, meeting online, talking online, something like that. Or how do you say, Netflix and chill, something like that. It is a divine protected, not union, relationship. Yeah, fate again. We do have luck coming for you. Maybe sometimes you think it is not protected because there's this little hole in the sand, but it is. It is. That may be the issue with trusting, root chakra you have. We have Sagittarius. Maybe one of you is a Sagittarius or has strong 9th house or Jupiter in their chart, but it also is just it's optimistic. We have a horse. For me, that means running wild and free, being brave, going towards another. We have those from the Chinese astrology, so it's a mouse and a dragon. We also have a dragon right here. I love dragons. I always notice dragons. Dragons, of course, stand for wisdom, but again for protection. And we have a mouse. I don't know what mice stand for. Maybe being a coward first and then braving up. Braving up, is that a word? Getting brave. We have the letter U, if that has any significance for you. guitar music, maybe that has any significance. And we have 2 leaves, and those stand for me for not worrying too much. Just let your mind flow and don't overthink stuff too much. Look at this one again, because it's pretty. It's divine protected. You don't need to worry. There will be commitments. You were the only pile today who got the ring. And communication. Yeah. And again, here, second card. It is a new beginning and the star, wish fulfillment. So that was you, pile number 3. I hope you liked it. If so, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. There will be way more pick cards to come and other readings as well. And if you want a personal reading with your own situation, I am very happy to do that for you. Well, anyway, have a nice day, evening, night, whatever, and maybe I will talk to you soon. Bye.